Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Park C here. Welcome back to DGBA Season 5. I know, finally, the Season 5. It's incredible. Mostly for me to believe that they actually made it through last season without dropping out, because I did have to go through mock exams. If you guys don't know, I left DGBA Season 3 because of tests, but you know what? I was determined to get through this season despite all the memes surrounding me. It's actually kind of funny because, in the least egotistical way, I'm kind of like. I know this is gonna sound egotistical of me, but I'm kind of like the face of DGBA now because I'm doing so many videos on the channel. Of course, Haz and JJ are doing a lot of videos as well, but despite only doing one full season, I'm doing all these things on the channel right now, and it's kind of insane because you got Haz, JJ, and Mike, and they've all been doing like stuff really recently. And I know that Gengar obviously had been doing stuff last season, but to continue to be like doing my own area or on the channel, I guess you could say, where I'm doing interviews, to do the announcements. I was supposed to do it with Haz, but he was going for an hour, so oh well. But I'm really glad to be in another season. Thank you, Haz, for allowing me to get into this season. Maybe you'll allow me to be moderator. Maybe next season. Okay, I gotta start joking about that. But we drafted 11 Pokemon. 120 points, and each Pokemon costs between 18 points and 1 point. So, in comparison to last season, some stuff fell and dropped. Stuff like Zorora fell from 18 points to 14 points. Some stuff like Rotom Wash, my boy, got increased from 12 points to 13. You know, your boy was showing off. Round 1 Rotom Wash wasn't a bad idea last season. Also, Stag Attack rose from 8 to 13, and just some Pokemon for 1 point that shouldn't have been for 1 point, like Torterra and Regigigas. I'm pretty sure they're 2 or 3 points now. And also Naganadel dropped from being 16 points to actually being banned, so that's great. And I didn't say about this, but also Mega Mawile dropped from 20 points to 18 points, and that's why I really want a Mega Mawile, because for 18 points I thought that'd be very good value, but you know, I guess JJ didn't use it very well last season. But going into this draft, I either wanted Celesteela or Mega Mawile. My 2 backup picks would be Landorus and Tornadus. So originally I had 7th in the draft order, and I was like, yes, finally the curse of me being 8th in the draft league is no more. I have broken out of it. And then they forgot to add Germwy into the draft, so they had a reshuffle, and I got 4th. I was so thrilled, and Haz got 8th, and I was like, ha ha Haz. And then a poll got made by none other than Mr. Pac-Fan, who wants to replace my channel with Kinder Egg opening videos, and there was an extremely high ratio, or different, or different, like, you know, you guys know what I'm saying. There's a lot more yeses than there were to nos for replacing Parksy's and Haz's orders. So that means that now I was 8th and Haz was 4th. And you guys know that I was talking about those 4 ones in particular, the 2 Therians and the 2 Steel types. Because of course I got sniped for them. Yes, I had 7 people in front of me, and all 4 of those Pokemon were taken in the first round. So that was insane. So I just came home from school, and I just saw that all 4 of these Pokemon got sniped, and I was like, what the actual heck is happening? I imagined one of them would get to me, but oh goodness. Like, I thought at a stretch, if Mega Mawile and Celesteela went, I'd have to pick up Landorus or Tornadus Therian. But I mean, I can't really say that I was fully sniped for Tornadus Therian, because Hughes was asking me about it, and I was like, yeah, sure, it's a good round 1 pick. I can handle without Tornadus Therian, so I had to, I guess I had like, I knew that I was going to get sniped for it, so I guess it wasn't really full snipe. But the first member of the team is going to be Victini. Now, Victini goes by a lot of nicknames. It goes by Vicente, it goes by Victory, it goes by V-Drive, or if you're an egotistical douchebag, you'll call it MX3. But Victini is a great Pokemon because it is a base 100 pick state, so that means his stats are going to be very customizable, so I can run like 100 Spadef if I want to take a Scald from X, Y, and Z, and I can run enough speed to outspeed some other Pokemon. It has an incredible move pool, being able to use Glaciate, Energy Ball, Thunder, Brick Break, U-Turn, and going is nice into a segue to my next point. It also does complete half of my Volt Turn core and a third my Fire Water Grass core. Volt Turn is of course great because it's going to give me a lot of momentum, and my main want for for my team this season was to draft a bit more of an offensive team, which isn't hard because last season I had two main wall breakers, Delphox and Terrakion, and I was willing to fight anyone that said the Delphox could not be a wall breaker. That boy got about 4 or 5 kills last season, so you cannot say that did not do its job. Victini, great Pokemon. It can be scarfed, it can be choice banded. I've also made it my Z user just because of the incredible amount of coverage it gets. It can also be a stall breaker because it does get taunts, so that little nice bit of utility can also function very well. I think that the only problem with Victini is that it's very easy to pursuit trap, and also is the fact that it is a psychic type, and a lot of psychic type is one of the most common types on Pokemon, so that means that you have to be very careful about drafting another psychic type, or else your team might very well be weak to Ghost and Dark. But the next Pokemon I want to pick up worked very well in conjunction with Victini, and that is going to be none other than Hydreigon. By the way, my Victini nickname is going to be Solado, which is Spanish for sunny, so that is going to be great. I know I'm a French student, but I can delve into Spanish a little bit. But Hydreigon, aka Smog, if you guys do not know, it's the dragon and hobbit. It's going to be the next pick, and it forms a very good core of Victini because Victini's weak to ground, Hydreigon's got the ability to levitate, so it can be immune to them. Hydreigon's weak to ice, Victini can come in on ice type attacks, and it also gets U-turns, so that can be very nice because what do you switch into a Pokemon that is dark and dragon typing? None other than a fairy type. So I can U-turn, I can get out into Victini, and I can go for something like a choice band V create and just absolutely nuke teams. So it's going to be very nice to have momentum versus those two. And Hydreigon's got a really good physical and specials attack stat. It's got a base 105 physical attack stat, which I didn't think would be that high. It actually can run a physical moves pretty well. It can be a physical attacker if it wants to. It's got very good coverage on the physical side with stuff like Outrage and the Elemental Fangs. And also its special move pool is great because obviously it gets Earth Power, Flash Cannon, Belch even if I want to be a bit cheeky with a berry. I could have made Hydreigon my Z user, and maybe I might swap my Z users near the end of the draft, or if I'm not really liking Victini as my Z user, or if I'd rather have it with certain items like Expert Belt or Choice Band or berries, then I might swap it out for Hydreigon. But I feel like Victini is going to be a decent enough as a user. But Hydreigon, I think, is going to do a lot of work for the team because it does have a base 125 special attack stat, and it stabs if there is no fairy on the team JJ, or if the fairy has been knocked out, or just if they didn't bother to bring their fairy, then Hydreigon can really just run through a lot of teams with its dual stabs. So I think that's going to be really nice to have Hydreigon on the team. As I said previously, it and Victini complement each other, except for two typings, which is Rock and Dragon. And this next pickup is going to be a Mega Aggron, which of course can take said Rock and Ice type, Rock and Dragon type attacks as well. And as I was about to say, Victini isn't really the best at taking ice type attacks, so obviously I wanted another ice switch in, and Mega Aggron is one of the best. Of course, Mega Aggron has got a whopping base 220 defense stats, so good luck OHKOing this Pokemon on the physical side. And also it has the ability Filter, so that means it is going to be reducing super effective attacks by 0.25%. So that means that basically if something's running a coverage move, which can be super effective against Mega Aggron, like HP Fire, Mega Aggron's like, nah, that's not a super effective attack. That's essentially you just hit me with a stab attack. So that's just how insane Mega Aggron can be. Gives me a Stealth Rock user, which is very nice because Hydreigon gave me a Defog, which I forgot to say. It also gives me Tailwind, so that can be quite nice as well. But Mega Aggron gives me a little bit more utility of Stealth Rock. It also gives me a Phaser, my first Phaser on the team. You guys know I love Phasers because I love to draft bulky. It's got the utility move and Roar, so that means even if someone's trying to set up behind a substitute, maybe there's sub Camp Mine or sub DD, then I can just be like, yo, here, take this roar for me, catch us L, so I can just roar them out. And especially if I have that Stealth Rocks up, I can start forcing a lot of switches which are unnecessary and just deal a lot of chip damage. The only problem with Mega Aggron is that I do need a good Wish Passer for it, so obviously the next few picks are going to be me trying to get a good Wish Passer. But generally, I really like Mega Aggro, and I really like the ability that I can, or what it brings to the table, that it can also be a curse sweeper if it wants to be, and that it has a very nice move pool with things like Avalanche, Edgequake, all the elemental punches, and just a lot of really cool moves. I can also rest talk, I guess, if I want to, but that is going to be it for Mega Aggro. And by the way, Mega Aggro's name is Jingus, and you might be wondering why I'm calling it Jingus, or what is it, Jingus? But Jingus is actually my front office. They didn't pick him up until halfway through the draft, but you can definitely go check out his YouTube channel down below. He uploads videos on his own YouTube channel. It's actually kind of funny because his YouTube channel is called Mega Aggron, so that's kind of why I called my Mega Aggron Jingus. Also, he is needing another person to fill in for a draft league. So if you're interested in a draft league and aren't too busy, then definitely go onto his channel, say, hey, Parksy sent me here and I'd like to join your new draft league, and I'm sure he'll hook you up. My next Pokemon that I picked up was Togekiss. As I said previously, I need a Wish Passer. Also, Hydreigon isn't really the best defogger because, of course, I am going to be running a bit more offensive because it has got that ginormous 125 special attack stat that can just break through teams. Togekiss is great. It wasn't my first fairy pickup, and admittedly I was a bit disappointed about it, but now I can't be happier because I do have good ice resistances. My electric resistances are a bit but I definitely try to cover up that electric weakness later on in my draft. So Togekiss, as I said previously, is a defogger. It also gives me a Wish Passer into Mega Aggron. It can Tailwind, and it actually gets three options of what was I gonna say, of recovery and roost, soft boiled, and wish. So that's kind of something funny. It also, as a cleric, it does get heal bell. So if something like my Mega Aggron is burnt, or if my Victini is paralyzed, I can always be like, yo, Togekiss, help out the team, and go click the heal bell. Also is the Togekiss Cancerous set, which is Scarf, or it doesn't even have to be Scarf, it can just be Air Slash. Bird Spam is always great in draft league format, and it is even better when it has a 60% chance to flinch this Pokemon. Just causes nightmares for teams, and with good reason. Also, it is a fairy type, so it's going to complete my Fairy Dragon Steel Core with Hydreigon, Mega Aggron, and Togekiss respectively. It's a Pokemon that I was originally kind of about drafting because Togekiss is a very hit or miss Pokemon. It's either it resists the attack that it's hit by, or it's super effective, the attack that you're hitting Togekiss with. Very few attacks actually lie in that middle where it's just a neutral damaging attack. But we're going to go on to the next pick. Also, Togekiss does give me a flying type, so that means that something is going to have a mold break or ground type attack, it can actually switch in. So the next pick I decided to pick up was a Pokemon I was really surprised went to round 5, and I just had to pick it up. It is none other than Amoonguss. Now, Amoonguss has got some pretty niche things about it. The first thing that it has is a beautiful move called Spore. If you don't know what Spore is, you must be living underneath a rock. It is a 100% accurate move that can put asleep targets, except they are safety goggles if they already have a status infliction on them, or if they are a grass type. And Amoonguss is part poison as well, so that means that grass types is not really a good switch, and I don't know. It also is part poison, as I said previously, so that is really going to be helping out my Hydreigon, because thus far I have 3 switches to fairy type attacks, which is Victini, Mega Aggron, and my Amoonguss. Amoonguss, the second nice thing about Amoonguss is that it gets Regenerator, so that means I can just switch it out. If it takes like 50% damage, I can switch it out, and Regenerator will heal up 33%, so I can just send in my 83% Amoonguss and be like, yeah, that 50% damage that happened, that you can just forget about that. I know that Amoonguss, the like a little bit of a downside to it is the fact that it is type poison and it's grass, so that means that it isn't having that natural resistance to ground that quite a few grass types do have. But to that I say I already have 2 Pokemon that are immune to ground in the forms of Hydreigon and Togekiss, and trust me when I say Amoonguss can just chew up ground types just as much as quite a few other grass type Pokemon. It also has Clear Smog, so another bit of utility, or another move that can basically just stop setup sweepers in the tracks. Next Pokemon I wanted to pick up was a Hazard Remover, because up this far I only had Defog Hydreigon and Defog Togekiss, so I managed to pick up a Blastoise, and this is where I got Jingus. Dingus, I'm so sorry, I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout the season. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, Dingus recommended this set, but Jingus, he we were talking, and I really wanted Araquanid. Araquanid got taken by Mike. So that means that we were originally planning to have Araquanid and then later on pick up Komala as a ghost, ghost resistance. But sorry, I had to check that my microphone's plugged in because I already recorded this and my microphone went off, so that's great. But Blastoise fills out the roles of Araquanid and Komala pretty much perfectly, kills two birds with one stone. It gives me the water typing of Araquanid and the switch into fire type that my team kind of desperately needed, because up until this point I only had my fire switch-ins, which were Hydreigon and Victini, which can't really take something like a Trace Band Sacred Fire or something like that. And Blastoise is a pretty good switch into fire type Pokemon, threatens them out with stuff like Scald, and I can also Rapid Spin, so it gives me my first Rapid Spinner and my third option of Hazard removal. So those Stealth Rockers are gonna have to kind of reconsider if they do want to really bring Stealth Rockers to my team, because now I do have a Rapid Spinner, but Blastoise I think doesn't get enough love. It's gonna be an interesting Pokemon to use. I really like using this Pokemon on RU, especially last generation. So I hope that I can use my boy Ballistic and to its fullest potential, maybe get a kill or two, and just spin away those hazards like it's supposed to. By the way, if you guys are wondering about my nicknames for my Togekiss and my Amoonguss, my Togekiss nickname is Aya, which is Hebrew for bird. I know, I'm so creative. And my nickname for my nickname for Amoonguss is Portobello, which is a type of mushroom. And for you guys say, I know Amoonguss is a type of is a fungus. It's based off the fungus, but I mean, you can't just look at Amoonguss and be like, yeah, it doesn't look like a mushroom. So we're now going to go on to the next Pokemon. As you guys probably can see, none of our Pokemon are above base 100 speed, so I really wanted some speed control onto the team, and none other than Galvantula. Now, as I said previously, Araquanid was sniped for me, and that was a huge deal because Araquanid was going to give me webs, it was going to give me so much, and that was going to be my speed control. But now I had to pick up Galvantula, which, yes, I don't really like Galvantula. As I said previously, Galvantula, I just feel like it's one of those Pokemon which it costs so much just to get up webs and do like 40% damage, and like, you know, with the rise of defoggers, I do think that Galvantula is that good. Plus also it's kind of outclassed now by things like Ribombee, which are faster than it and usually cost less. I think I'm pretty almost certain that Ribombee costs less, but Galvantula just ticked too many boxes where me and Genghis, we don't like Galvantula, but we knew that we had to pick it up just because it gave us two typings that we didn't need. It completed the Volt Turn Core because it does that Volt Switch. It just gave us the Webs Pokemon that we needed and the Pokemon above base 100 speed. It actually is base 108 speed, so that is going to be nice to slot into my speed tiers, make my speed tiers half decent. And I was looking at this Pokemon offensively, and despite having a base 97 special attack, it does have Compound Ice, so it's one of the very few electric types that can viably run Thunder as well. So it does have a more hard hitting electric stab than most other electric type Pokemon. Also, you can't ignore the fact that this Pokemon does have coverage like Energy Ball, Hitting Power, Ice, and Stab, Electric, and Stab Bug, and I do think there's many Pokemon, if any Pokemon, that can switch into a combination of all four of those. So this Pokemon could be very nice offensive wise, with maybe a Life Orb or something, but I hope I prove myself wrong about Galvantula being a bad Pokemon, and I hope I just use it quite well. I know it was I think it was, oh yeah, okay, so it was 6 Foot Hacks that picked up Donphan in the league, and he said it was terrible. He thinks this one kind of one-dimensional. It was only really good for Rapid Spin, and by the end of the league, he absolutely loved it. He said it was a great Pokemon, it could do so many things, and it just wasn't Rapid Spinner like he thought it would be. But the next Pokemon we were going to pick up is Nidoking. Now, this was all Genghis, so go show him some love. But Genghis was like, okay, well, we need a ground type, and obviously I knew that I needed a ground type. I was already telling him, hey, we kind of need a ground type because the electric type's gonna evolve switch on my team, like my PPA team. But we also needed a Pokemon that could set up rocks, because up until this far, Mega Aggron was my only Stealth Rock setter, and as I said previously, I do kind of want to run Curse Mega Aggron some weeks. So Nidoking does give me a Stealth Rock setter, also gives me T-Spikes, that could be very nice to hazard stack alongside Galvantula, which, by the way, Galvantula's nickname will be Muffet. And yes, I know that the Muffet isn't the spider in the nursery rhyme, Little Miss Muffet, Center, Tuffety, Kurt's Way. But the spider in Undertale is called Muffet. And did you seriously think you're going to watch one of my videos without bringing up an Undertale reference? I don't think so. So Nidoking does give me Toxic Spikes as well. Stack, by the way, Nidoking's nickname is Zen. Not really based off anything, just thought it'd be a cool nickname for Nidoking. It does have a pretty good speed tier, which is 85, so that kind of loosens the giant enormous bridge between Togekiss and my Hydreigon, which are 98 and 80. Is a very good wall breaker and can hit on the physical or the special side. Gives me a little bit more priority with Sucker Punch. I already have priority with Aqua Jet Blastoise and like Hustle boosted extreme speed Togekiss, but I can hit on the physical side stuff like Mega Horn, Poison Jab, Earthquake, Sucker Punch as there previously. But its special move pool is what probably makes Nidoking to be honest, because it can do so many things on the special side. It gets Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Earth Power, Sludge Wave. There's other stuff it gets. There's another move I'm trying to think that I guess, but I kind of forgot. But Nidoking, great Pokemon. It's going to be very nice, especially under the influence of webs. Now, if this Pokemon can outspeed a lot of Pokemon due to webs, I can just probably break through a lot of teams with sheer force, Life Orb. And the one Pokemon that the one thing that made me not want this Pokemon was because I already have Poison type in Amoonguss. But then Jingus was like, hey, Amoonguss is they both serve different roles. Amoonguss is a defensive Poison type. Nidoking's kind of like, hey fairies. This also gives me my fourth check to fairies, so please bring your fairies by all means. I mean, you'll only be checking my Hydreigon. Is it really worth the risk? I mean, if you bring your fairy, then yes, you can check a Hydreigon, but you'll have all these threats that have to deal with. And if you don't bring your fairy and Hydreigon comes, then that's going to be nasty because there's no hidden power fairy, and fairy is easily the hardest coverage move to obtain in the game. But with Nidoking down, we decided to pick up a little bit more team on the Armados, and this is the fastest Pokemon I ever drafted. Go me! We've got Aerodactyl, and I think that Aerodactyl is going to be a very nice Pokemon on this team. Gives me my third Stealth Rock setter and my fourth option of Hazard Removal with Defog, and my third Tailwind user. It also has two very good stabs you cannot deny. It has Rock Stab, which is one of the best stabs in the game, and Flying Stab, which, as I said previously, Bird Spam is amazing. And yes, I know this best flying type attack is Aerial Ace, which can let it down quite a bit. But hey, I can get some pretty nice use out of Life Orb or Choice Band. And originally, I didn't really like this Pokemon, but it wasn't until I saw Jolt use it in the GBA where I was like, hey, this Pokemon is actually pretty darn good. I can take a few hits, I can run a little bit more bulk, and as I'm about to say, Aerodactyl speed tier is so good that some Pokemon just some teams just don't even go up to base 130, so you can just you can just outspeed the entire team, of course, barring Scarfers or setup sweepers, and just run quite a bit into HP. So Aerodactyl can be relatively bulky as a sweeper as well. But going into my next Pokemon, it is time for redemption. Sorry, I think that I don't know what my computer is doing. Right, are we playing now? No, that's not it. But what is going on? Right, okay, you got spoiled for the last pick, but oh well. The next pickup was Licky Licky, hashtag redemption. I really don't know what was going on with the slides. Like, I was pressing play, and it just, like, it was playing, but it just sort of skipped there. But anyway, I'm sure it doesn't really matter. So I decided to pick up Licky Licky for the two main reasons. I needed a ghost switch in up until this point because my team was kind of weak to ghost spam. My only resist was Hydreigon, and Hydreigon really isn't that good of a switch into ghost type attacks because of how offensive it usually has to be. So Licky Licky is a normal type, of course, it resists ghost moves. I also needed a Pokemon that, with stuff like Heal, like Alone Ninetales and Alone Sandslash and Sand being drafted, I felt like this Pokemon could be very nice. It's a Cloud 9 ability. It also gave me a Wish Passer, so that could really help boost up Mega Aggron, so that kind of, you know, it doesn't mean that Togekiss has to be that wish passing rule every single time. And this Pokemon has a really wide move pool. It has stuff like Flamethrower, Surf, Power Whip, with also a lot of setup options and Sword Stance and Belly Drum, which I find kind of hilarious. This Pokemon gets Belly Drum, but that is going to be Licky Licky. This Pokemon's nickname is going to be called Has IRL because Licky Licky usually has this ginormous tongue out, so Has is thirsty as crap. And Aerodactyl is going to be called Racer just because I thought that'd be a cool nickname and kind of stealing JJ's Garchomp nickname. I'm sorry. So the final Pokemon, as of course this freezes again, we have got Hitmonlee, my fifth option of hazard removal, my second spinner, and this Pokemon is going to bring a whole heap of offense onto the team. So I needed a fighting type, of course, otherwise I wouldn't have a good Pokemon to break through normal types, and Hitmonlee was the best Pokemon on the board for its price. I think 7 points is very good for it. Reckless High Jump Kick under Sticky Webs is just absolutely absurd. I was doing some calcs versus some Pokemon, and it basically 2 KOs like a good portion of the meta game that can be drafted in this league. Hitmonlee's nickname is going to be called Sprocket, just because its legs look like springy things, and I don't know where I got the rocket part from, but it's going to be a great Pokemon. Gives me a little bit more priority with Bullet Punch and Mach Punch. But let me know what you guys think about this team in the comment section down below. This has been my DGBA Season 5 team recap. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Subscribe if you're new, as I said previously, the notification bell on, because I upload it randomly. I kind of have been setting myself a schedule to either upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Saturdays, but you guys won't know when I actually upload unless you do subscribe and notification bell on. So that's something. Also, check out the DGBA channel down below. I did a video announcing the season 5, and JJ has and Mike also did the power rankings. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. I was supposed to do the video, but they started at 10 nearly and finished nearly at about 12, so I just could not do that. That would be really hard to do. Plus also my bedroom was absolutely freezing, so I was not going to have blue hands by the end of the video just to record power rankings. I'm very sorry, but my ghost was there, and my spirit was with them in said video. But thanks guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.